Coach, we know that the last few years the America East has been relatively even. A lot of teams stacking up, whether it's the top or the bottom of the conference. Just talk a little bit about the strength of the America East as a whole coming into this season.
Yeah, I think the league is underrated. I mean, there's such good players, such good coaches. In the last 2 years, our league has had 3 ACC wins. I mean, that's one of the better basketball conferences in the country, and it shows what we're capable of, when we go for non-conference play. But inside league play, I mean, there's a lot of parity. I mean, there's good players, young players. We've been really fortunate to have back-to-back rookies of the year. But then you go around the league, there's older guys, positional players that have had a lot of success. And when you get to the meat of the season, I mean, there's so much parity in the standings. And then over time, obviously, who's able to protect home court, who's able to get a good road win really separates teams.
Yeah, and looking at your guys that are returners for the program this year, how do you feel about they've improved this summer in the offseason?
Yeah, I was really impressed with just the way that our guys attacked the summer. It was a hard summer for them in terms of what we were doing on the court, but also off in the weight room from a conditioning standpoint. Watching Jonathan Beagle's body, just transition from year 1 to year 2 has been huge for him, and I think that's going to make the game easier for him. Then another guy, my hat goes off to is Justin Neely. I mean, he's going through it, battling his way back. You're talking about a kid that wakes up in the morning, he does PT, goes into the weight room, he's at practice, he's working on his body, working at his conditioning, working at his mobility. I think those things are huge, and it will pay off for him. I'm excited to get him back on the floor, and that's going to be huge. And then the last guy, in terms of returners, would be Aaron Reddish. But really, really happy, just from his maturity, not just from a basketball perspective, but just him as a man. And I think that's part of what we do for our program. We talk a lot about developing the person, and that's part of our mentality here because we truly believe that if we help develop the person, the player will get a lot better.
Specifically for this 2023-2024 season, what are you looking for from your group out of your guys this season?
Yeah, we want to play fast. I think that's what a lot of people talk about. But in order to do that, we have to be a solid defensive team. We've got to be a really good rebounding team. But I think in the open court, we can make shots in the early clock. We talked about it a lot. I think we were able to do it, in some small glimpses last year, but we have the talent to be able to do that this year. Also, we want to be a much better defensive team. I thought we established that as a program year 1. We got away from it last year, but we've been really good this summer and in the fall, working on our defensive habits, our defensive rotations, just our identity from that perspective. And, it's a big year for us. We're opening up a brand new arena. The Broadview Center is huge for us. So we'll put an exciting brand of basketball. Can we throw the ball up there and get a lob, make some threes, have a good time? That's our goal.
Coach, every year, every season, we know teams are looking a lot different, especially now with the transfer portal. With that being said, how are you feeling about some of the newcomers that are now members of the Great Danes and represent the university in your program this season?
Yeah, we added some high-character people, first and foremost, and I think they have great basketball character as well. A local kid, Tyler Bertram, he's a known shooter. I mean, he can really make shots. Fun kid to be around, fun kid to coach. Sebastian Thomas, coming from Rhode Island. Amari Marshall, we think the world of. He's been a great addition to our program, kid that had over 20 points in the game at Purdue, one of the better teams in the country last year. And then Munir Newton, he's been a guy that, he's a lunch pail kind of guy. He's undersized, but he's got a huge heart, a lot of grit. So we're excited to add him. And I think all the guys that we've added, throughout the portal or our incoming freshmen have found a way to impact us.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, November 7th will kick off. It's a non-conference game. Pretty good-looking schedule this year. Who are some of the non-conference opponents you're looking forward to facing here early in the season?
Yeah, every one of them. But I'd say the biggest one is the first one. Every next game is the biggest game of the year, for us. But for me, obviously the first game of the year sets the tone for the season. I think it's huge for our guys that we get confidence that first night. Can we be the best version of ourselves? That's the only thing that we can control. And then, Amherst is my hometown. My father worked at the University of Massachusetts for over 40 years. I went to preschool there. I was a walk-on there. It means a lot, for me, but most important, it's a huge opportunity for our program, for our kids, and we want to represent ourselves the right way. But, when that ball goes up in the air, we're planning on going out there to win. And we got to earn some people's respect, and our kids know that, and we're ready to represent that opportunity.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.